Welcome to the Beasts of the NFC East podcast. I am your host, Sean Michael Gnitskovich, with my co-host, Jeremy Good. It's mock draft season. The combine's over. I didn't really watch it. I don't know who did. If you did, good for you. Jeremy Good, what is good?
I'm a little upset for some reason. The Eagles have the last pick. I don't know how that works, but
Oh yeah, good for you.
it's just every day I'm reminded that it's just interesting how there are teams that just don't win the Super Bowl, and it just wow, go Eagles! But I'm excited. I love mock season. Um, a lot of good talent. Sounds like there's a lot of good talent around the third, fourth, fifth round this year. So yeah, and obviously you got to hit. This is where you got to hit sort of early on. You have to hit every pick essentially. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
There are teams are making move in our division. Seems like everybody is the last week, which is it's good. The NFL doesn't stop, Sean, which is kind of nice. Sometimes you'd like a few week break, but Goodell has done it where it's a 365 day season. So yeah, we're into it.
Yeah, it never ends. And for me, I was on the draft as soon as the playoffs started because the Giants were awful and the Commanders and the Eagles were doing great. And I watched those games and they hurt.
Yes.
That's why I was like, you know what? Maybe this mock draft will have Cam Ward falling to the Giants at 3. I don't think that's going to happen now. For those of you who have not watched this before, which is probably a majority of you, these are the episodes that usually get the most views, and we usually get mocked the most. So yes, we are an NFC East based podcast. If you can't tell, I'm a Giants fan, the resident Giants fan. Jeremy's an Eagles fan. Jeremy's living at large. I'm miserable. This whole past year has been terrible. Really, since we started the podcast, we started it right after the Giants made that sick playoff push, and ever since it's been pretty awful. But this is our season as Giants fans, which is really, really sad. We love the draft. And it's really sad when it's just a one-round mock because there's especially without trades, there's only really 3 players that are going to us. It's like Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and Abdul Carter / Travis Hunter. And now it's sounding like Shedeur Sanders is not really in play at 3 for the Giants. But that's the thing. Everything's changing left and right. It was all smoke that we wanted Shedeur Sanders. Yep. We went in on Matt Stafford. We're the only team who really hasn't made any moves at the start of this offseason, but we've been trying to with Matt Stafford and now maybe with Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers will be signed while we're recording this. And I don't know how I feel about that, Jeremy. I know you as an Eagles fan. I mean, I know that if it was any other team in the division signing an aging Aaron Rodgers at this point in the career, I would probably be laughing at him. But with how miserable we've been, it'd give me a little bit of excitement for this season.
I would love for the Giants to sign Rodgers. That would be. I just don't think they will because it would be so asinine. But wow, if they do, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show where John Mara put this franchise by not firing Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll and pretty much telling them, hey, you guys are going to be fired if there's no success this season and if you guys don't get a quarterback. So now the whole league knows, which makes it harder for us to trade up to 1. But there is actual stuff that has happened in the league. Obviously, the first thing, which you haven't covered yet, is Deebo Samuel going to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick, which obviously the Adam Peters connection – he's kind of fallen off in the past couple years since he had that big 1,700-yard season.
Been injured too.
Been injured, and then the pneumonia. There's a big fall off last year post pneumonia. I think he was averaging 77 yards per game pre-pneumonia. Post pneumonia it was 40 yards a game. So hopefully, he's taken his vitamins and he's not getting any more pneumonia and he stays strong. Also, I think he's going to benefit being on the Commanders' offense with Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. I mean, Terry McLaurin is definitely the 1A for sure. Maybe just the A in general, and Deebo Samuel being the B. How do you feel about it, Jeremy? Are you scared?
I'm not. It's a move where I think if you're getting 2022 or 2021, whatever year that was with Deebo, yeah. I think the problem with Deebo Samuel is he's just dropped off over the last few years. He's, I think, 29. I like those kind of players who can, mix it up. Receiving, can run the ball too, and you can just get them involved in different ways. That's awesome. The problem is I just don't think he's that. He doesn't stay healthy. He hasn't been as productive in recent years. He's older. He's kind of a gadget player now. I get it's weird too for Washington because it's a $21 million cap hit. I would think Washington has a lot of money. I would think you'd get another receiver that is either better for that money or almost as good, maybe even better for less money. It's kind of weird from my perspective that they would go after someone like that. Are they better on offense with him? I
Yeah,
think, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like I he was in a great offense with San Francisco. Wasn't happening. Obviously, McCaffrey being out that changes their offense. But you still have Ayuk, you still have Kittle, and Purdy was still
for
he had
now,
his for now.
because
Yeah, he's
Ayuk
still
might be getting traded too, which
got it
I don't
possibly.
know. Yeah,
But Purdy had success getting him the football, so he was in the offense in San Francisco. That was fine. Um, we'll see. I think he's still a good player, but to how good in the last few years, just not as good as you would like for him for his for being versatile as a receiver. So I don't
yeah.
know. What are your thoughts, Sean?
I feel like, well, the Commanders have the cap for it. That's the thing. They have the
They
cap. I
do.
think it's like a $17 million hit for them this year.
Hmm.
Um, and I think this now is going to be a contract year for Debo, so I think they're going to get the best out of him, unless he's going to be demanding an extension, which I feel like they probably figured that out prior to the trade, and I think that's also
Right.
why they got him for like a fifth. But yeah, there are like different options, like especially because if they're in win now mode and they're getting somebody like Debo, there are like, I mean, Stephon Diggs is coming off the ACL, but I feel like he might be cheap and he might go to a team that's a win now.
Yeah.
Same with a guy like Chris Godwin. And also, this draft is like pretty deep and exciting at receiver. And I thought, even like late in round one, I think there's going to be a good receiver that falls to them. And then there's also receivers like Debo Samuel, like Savion Williams, who I guess the Niners have already met with. I guess as their Debo replacement, perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I think they have the cap for it. And, De'Ami Brown, who I would say is maybe was their wide receiver too last year.
Hmm.
He's also an impending free agent. Maybe they bring him back, but it's an upgrade and they have the money for it. And if you think about
Yeah.
it, like if you think about Gabe Davis is making $13 million a year, I think 1 year of Debo Samuel with 17 million and he's versatile and you can move him around. I think it's worth it if you compare.
Yeah, I mean the problem, like McLaurin's also, they're going to have to extend him too because
Yeah,
neither him or Debo are under contract next year. Um, yeah, I guess if you extend Debo, obviously the cap hit per year goes down, but then you're committing years to him, and then maybe it's just
mm,
like if you give him 2 3 years, what is he 32, 33 at that point? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I guess I like it's an aggressive move. It's not a high pick with a fifth rounder, but that's because of everything involved. Um, they're trying to mix it up. They're trying to get better. You commend them for that, but if, I I think you'd want a little more of a sure thing going forward than
yeah,
Debo Samuel at his age. I don't know. Maybe it works. I still think he's a talented player. Um, it's just about getting the most and best out of him. And if those days are behind him, I it seems like people could predict that from the start, like some people are. But we'll see. They
yeah.
got to play,
Well,
obviously.
we'll see. Yeah, it's exciting, especially at this time of the year. I thought that we won like the Darren Waller trade, and that obviously did not work
Yeah.
out. So this could be like a huge fall off for Debo. We'll see. Same
Hmm.
with like Stephon Diggs last year moving to the Texans. Like you thought that was going to make them a super team, and he played well pre-injury, but like there's all these factors that I think the age factored into maybe the injury
Yeah.
happening in the first place. Um, the other big news is the Cowboys are signing Osa Digizua,
Yeah.
letting their number one pending free agent stay in the building for an $80 million deal. It's, 20 million a year. I saw that they only have like 5 million on the books for this year. The way that they
Okay.
structured the contract with a $20 million signing
How much
bonus,
is How much is guaranteed? 58 million.
58 million
Okay.
58 million guaranteed. Uh, I'll tell you what. I think Milton Williams was higher on the free agent board. You said that the Eagles are bringing him back, but I think that also just set him even higher for teams that are
Wait,
considering
what
Milton
did you
Williams.
say? What did you say it just said?
I said that Milton Williams will probably get paid more than Osa Odigizua.
Oh yes,
I
yes,
think.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes,
I mean that's like setting the bar pretty high. Osa did
yes.
great last year. Like he was great at rushing the passer. He was great in the middle. Definitely their best interior defensive lineman. Mozzie Smith, has had his struggles.
Yep.
He's great against the Giants, but in general has had his struggles. um, but yeah, I think that's a good move for the Cowboys. They definitely have other. If they didn't re-sign Osi Odigizua, they were going to have to get a different defensive tackle somehow, anyways. And
Yeah.
it's good. Like it's probably better than investing their number 13 overall pick on a DT because they have other needs. But what do
They
you
need a
think,
lot.
Jeremy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't mind. I guess I don't mind the signing. Even though they had a bad year, he wasn't the reason, or wasn't anywhere close to being a big factor the year they had. It's a lot of
yeah,
money. I think it's probably. I don't want to say it's more than he should have received because I don't know what the market like. Maybe a team was going to give him that. It certainly sets the market up for Milton Williams. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to bring him back before the signing. I think the signing makes it official that they're not going to bring him back because I think he'll get more. I don't think the Eagles have the money for that. It's a shame. I love Milton Williams. He's a great player next to Jalen Carter. So I think it's interesting how that news sort of like makes it news for Milton Williams and other tackles too, but especially Milton Williams, where he was going to get a bag this off season, but now he's really going to get a bag, unfortunately. And I think that's with a different team than the Eagles. So yeah,
yeah. And even the Giants too. They need a second defensive tackle because we let Leonard Williams walk. We let Ashawn
yeah,
Robinson walk last year. And when Dexter Lawrence wasn't on the field, which after he got injured halfway through the season, we were miserable up front. I don't
he
know if we're
is.
looking for like a Milton Williams, but our old friend BJ Hill
He'd be
is
a great
on.
player next to Dexter Lawrence. He's a very good player alone, and will create for himself. But next to a superstar, Jalen Carter, next to a superstar in this case, Dexter Lawrence, it
Yeah.
just makes the job easier for both players, and they both get home. He's just such a great complimentary player. And just a great player overall.
Yeah, I mean, I like Milton Williams, but there's
Yeah,
also, and we'll get to it. We got a free agency preview coming, but there's also a really deep defensive tackle class coming
yeah,
in right here, which makes me
yeah.
really scared because I feel like Howie does like his defensive tackles and letting Milton fall. You guys are going to be picking right before us at the top of the second, so I could see you guys just stealing somebody that we love, like you did with Devonta Smith years back.
Oh
Um,
yes.
but yeah, I think there's some Eagles news too, Jeremy. I don't really know if.
Yes, the Eagles cut Darius Slay
Yep.
as he likes to be called. That was
Yeah.
expected. Saves money on the cap. Um, I think Darius Slay he could be brought back by the Eagles at a lesser price. I think that could happen. I think he'll either return to Detroit for one final year or come back to Philadelphia. Maybe there's a sleeper team too who pays him a lot of money for 1 year, like Baltimore, if they have the money. A good team
Yeah.
who has some money who could give, but I think it's going to come down to Detroit or the Eagles. Um, what else? They cut James Bradbury, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, had a
Giants.
had a great first year here, then fell off miserably in the second year, and then didn't play the third year because they just couldn't put him on the field. I'll say this about Bradbury: great sport. He was just a leader on the field, off the field when he was good, when he was bad. Had a great attitude throughout the whole process. Good for him. I think this is probably the end of his career. Played for the Giants, played for the Eagles, played for the Panthers, played
Yeah.
well on every team at a point. And this is probably it for him, I'd assume. So good for him. He could have been, he could have been upset with the situation, wasn't, or at least just didn't tell us, but I don't think he was either. Good for him. He gets a ring, of course, too, which is awesome. So they cut him. And then the Eagles extend Saquon Barkley, which is an interesting move. They added 2 more years to his contract. making him the highest paid running back in NFL history for, I guess, the 2 years. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into the contract details
I think it's just
itself.
total and also yearly, right?
Yes,
Total
how
and
they
yearly.
do
Yeah.
right. How they
Yeah.
yeah, the NFL's weird how like they measure that stuff. I think based on per per year. I'm not sure. Um, it's good in a number of ways. It's interesting too because Eagles don't do that usually. They don't usually extend players after 1 year. Obviously, Saquon had an amazing 1 year. It's something I thought they could have done after Hassan Reddick's first year, which probably would have made things a little better with them. They didn't, and then obviously things ended the way they did with Hassan. But they did. They do it with Saquon. Obviously, great year. They win the Super Bowl. It makes sense there. I think it also shows the rest of the league that the Eagles take care of their players, which is important. It'll help with cap space too, and it kind of sets the running back uh, price tag in a way. So hopefully the Eagles won't need a running back going forward, and other teams will have to spend more money. We'll see there. Um, it's interesting. They're giving him years, which it part of me was like, I almost wanted to just give him like a raise and not give him the years because maybe I'm missing something. It's just like I don't know, like at 28, giving him more years, it's like it's a bit risky there. But it's like it's not even about the money. I'd give him the money without the years, but it's good. I like that they have a future for him. I think he can hold up with his health. I think the O line's going to help too with that with the Eagles. So, nice move. Uh, yeah, I think that's it for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? No, I think that's it. Yeah,
I think that's it. Yeah. And then the Giants just are still desperately trying to find.
they're swinging. I'll tell you what, they're
Oh,
making noise.
Joe Shane says you always got to swing at the quarterback. Well, guess what? You
Yeah,
didn't bring in Justin Fields last year. If you were swinging at the quarterback, knowing Daniel Jones sucked, you could have brought in Justin Fields, saw what he could have done. Could have brought in Russell Wilson, saw what he could have done. Now
yeah,
you might bring him in this year, and it's too late, man. It's too late. And also, I don't know if we want that. Or we might get Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, which would be exciting for a singular year. But we're about to do this mock draft. We're about to be GMs, Jeremy, and we're about to get mocked.
yes,
Because whenever we do the mocks, people in the comments, they're mocking us. They say, you're not a GM. Well, guess what? I spent $25 on a PFF Plus subscription so we could do this. So, yeah, I think I am a GM, bro. And if you have a free mock draft simulator that doesn't suck, please write it down in the comments because I feel like this is a little much. Jeremy, before we get into this draft,
yes.
is there anything you wanna discuss? Any goals you have for this 3-round mock?
I just want to make all four teams better. You know, rivalry aside, I just want to. I kind of, I kind of want to make the pick that I think they should make, but I don't think they would. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the board falls. These teams are in different spots for sure. I know Dallas desperately needs a running back. My goodness. Is taking one at 12 a good move? Is Genty a good move, considering he didn't really play against good competition? And then when he did in Penn State, he wasn't that good. I don't. We'll get into it, but we'll see. I'm excited about different stages where the teams are and if where guys fall to with their picks.
Yeah, and also we're just doing 3 rounds because we don't even know. By this time next week, the Giants might have traded for the first overall pick, and they might not even have their second and third pick. Who knows? Who knows? So let's get it in now while we have some fun. But yeah, Jeremy, this is you can see the board here. I think we do a little bit to the PFF board, mostly to the public, because I think there's a lot of people drafting, so like we'll kind of see where things are going. Care for positional value? You want to do that more or less? Or do you like the way everything's set up here?
Yeah, looks fine.
I feel like this is solid. I think these are good settings. All right. I'm a little nervous. Giants are obviously picking first because we were the worst. Let's see how this board falls. We're entering. And bum, 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 bum. Draft begins. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Wow. That was like the best thing that could have happened. I mean, I don't think there's any way this actually happens in the draft.
I think it could.
From Adam Schefter. Well, maybe it's smoke, all the reports from Adam Schefter are that the Browns are definitely going quarterback, and that
Right.
quarterback is probably Cam Ward. And that would like the Titans, maybe their generational talent is Travis Hunter. They're letting Harold Landry seek a trade. I think that means that they're probably seeking Abdul Carter. I think that they probably, if they want to trade back with anybody, we are the premier, and maybe that Brown smoke screen is so that they do trade with the Giants, thinking that they could get Abdul Carter at 3, but really the Browns are going to sneak him up at 2. That's how much I'm thinking about this, Jeremy. I am all over the place trying to figure out how to get Cam.
The one thing I'll say, just to interrupt quickly,
yeah,
I hate these. Detroit did this once. I forget when they took Jeff Okudah. I think they did that after they lost, after they traded Darius Slay to the Eagles. And I hate that, like, with the Browns, like, trading, like, Harold Landry for, like, Abdul Carter for the same position. I hate that kind of thinking. Like, you're probably getting a better player, but it's always been weird to me. Like, I don't know. But,
they'd be better with 2 edge rushers because after Harold
Landry. You think?
The deepest at edge. So, and then same with the Browns. Like, the Browns would be elite with Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett. Obviously, Myles Garrett is seeking a trade. If I'm the Browns, I don't trade him, and I try to just become a contender. I mean, they're a year off from a playoff push with Joe Flacco at the quarterback. I think maybe this year I don't think Sean Watson's going to suit up for them again. But I don't want to spend all like this is ideal. I'm a Cam Ward guy, not a Shador guy. I think from everything that I've heard post combine, that's when everybody's getting drunk and spilling the beans, that the Giants want Cam Ward. So this is a deal, especially not trading any draft capital and getting Cam Ward. So this might be our only chance to get him because come next week we might have Aaron Rodgers. So I'm getting Cam Ward, baby. Getting the quarterback. All right. Dallas is on the clock. Oh, man. Ashton Genty went 5. Okay. Well, that kind of you know what we didn't even talk about? How Zach Martin retired.
Yes.
Zach Martin retiring, that could be huge here. Man. So this is the board. I think need actually is like an interior offensive lineman. Because like the Cowboys have always been investing in their interior O-line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you go Omari and Hampton here, even though we know that they need a running back. What are you thinking, Jeremy? What are your thoughts here?
I wouldn't go running back here. I wouldn't go RB2 in the draft.
They also need linebacker too, but Jihad Campbell, who I think is the only linebacker worthy of a first round.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Is off the board. Armand Membu went 4. Will Campbell's go off. Oof. What are you thinking, Jeremy?
They need. I mean, I think they need to get to the quarterback. I think Pierce makes a lot of sense. But let's.
DeMarcus Lawrence is probably headed off elsewhere, so they do need another edge. That is true, and I also like maybe a wide receiver 2 for him.
Yeah,
they got some, and I don't think. I mean, Matthew Golden pre-combine wasn't going this high, but coming out of Texas ran a 4.29. Excuse me, and looks really good. What do you think? Do you think edge over wide receiver 2?
It's up to you. I think that they desperately need to get to the quarterback, but they also need someone next to CeeDee Lamb for sure. Yeah. So I don't think you can go wrong with either position.
I feel like making Cowboys fans happy would be a wide receiver, and I kind of like Matthew Golden because of the whole Texas thing. I mean, Jerry does draft guys out of Texas quite often. Demarion Overshown.
Yeah. Jonathan Brooks
would have been, yeah.
If he didn't,
maybe dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jeez. It's up to you. You make the pick.
Let me go to wide receiver here.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka, Matthew Golden. I feel like Emeka Ibuka is more slot, and I think that CD spends a lot of time in the slot. Luther Burden as well. I mean, he was all over the place, and Matthew Golden actually had a lot of outside receiving reps. I think it's Matthew Golden. I like him. I like him for Dallas. Let's do it. Commanders on the clock. Jeremy, biggest needs here, I feel like, is still O-line.
Yep.
Sam Cosme got hurt last year. Hopefully he'll be back at some point. Andrew Wiley's their right tackle. Brandon Coleman was a third-round pick who was okay at left tackle. Also, they need an edge rusher because Dante Fowler's an impending free agent. He was their best edge rusher.
Yep.
What do you want to look at edge and O-line?
Yeah, I look at edge O-line. Well, I guess they just traded for Debo. Yeah. Edge O-line.
Oh, dude, Josh Connerly, I think, is the best tackle.
That's a good pick, yeah.
I feel like that's just like written right in there. I feel like that's best tackle on the board. I think he's also just the best. Nick Scourton's a good edge. But yeah, I think Josh Connerly is definitely the best. Gray Zabel's more of an interior guy who was like the darling of the Senior Bowl. Everybody loved him. One of those NDSU studs that come in at the Senior Bowl and impress and become a good lineman in the draft or in the NFL. But I think Josh Connerly.
He's a guy the Eagles, I think, have an eye on.
That's why you know. But I think if we're the Commanders,
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
They need better line play. He's a tackle. I think it makes sense. Yeah.
And even if like he's a first round tackle too, like maybe you move Brandon Coleman to right tackle, you know?
Sure.
Or
maybe I don't know if it'll work, but maybe you try Brandon, maybe you try Coleman at guard as a big guard. Maybe
That's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked with Mekhi Becton.
Mm-hmm.
Could have worked with Evan Neal, but we didn't even try it. That was really smart.
Yeah. Thought about that too.
Yeah. All right, Josh Connerly, you're a Commander. This is your pick.
All right.
Pick. What do you want to look at, man?
Edges. Let's look at edges.
Yeah, let's do it. Edge, Nick Scourton, I still think is the best there. Yeah, they kind of took a lot of the good edges.
Yep.
Actually, like right before you too, like Jalen Walker.
This could easily be a trade back spot for the Eagles. Let's go to tackles. What they might try to do, get a lane replacement now, have them start at guard.
Oh, there's somebody who did guard, dude.
Yeah.
I know his rank's low, but I could see Donovan Jackson going higher. Even Ariante or
me too.
Him go super high too.
Yeah.
Well, Donovan Jackson played tackle when Simmons got hurt.
You could do both. Yep.
But so he was originally a guard. So I mean, it's not terrible.
Nice to know. Let's go to
what else? Do you want to do interior O-line? Like, do you think?
No, I don't think they draft. I don't think they would draft a guard specifically just for that. Let's go defensive line, defensive tackle.
Oh yes. Here, let me get rid
of Sanders. Yeah, Harmon.
Yeah, dude. I like all these guys.
I've been hearing a lot about Tyleik Williams. Might be early for him. All right.
Yeah, I feel like you already have a big boy with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Jordan Davis is on his last year of his contract. They might give him a fifth-year option. They also might trade him. I don't know. But let's look at PFF's top overall, and then I'll make a decision off that.
Yeah. Derek Harmon's number one. TJ Sanders, though. Because TJ Sanders, I think, is more of a Milton replacement because he's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle?
I think it comes down from what I've been reading. I think it comes down to either in this spot they trade or Harmon. It's either Harmon or I think Tyleek Williams.
Oh, which one do you
And
want?
right now, I think I'm thinking Tyleek Williams.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I think Tyleek Williams is going to be a run-stuffing animal. So
would be nice.
Yeah. All right. You want to do Tyleek?
We'll go Tyleek.
All right. I like it. All right. Giants are on the clock. This is what we need, but this is pre-free agency, so I don't know how it's going to go.
Right.
We need another cornerback because Deontay Banks was the cornerback one. Joe Shane joked about playing cornerback on Hard Knocks. That wasn't funny. Our defensive backs sucked. So thanks.
Oh,
Joe
by
Shane.
the way, you guys have ruined Hard Knocks because now no NFL team wants to do it because of everything that happened. So now we're a Bill Belichick UNC Hard Knocks.
No way. Is that actually happening?
Yeah, apparently.
Whoa, that's gonna be sick.
That might be kind of cool. Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching the Giants behind the scenes, seeing how they did things. But I'm surprised they did it because I thought Joe Shane looked like an idiot.
Yeah, and we've said it before. They can approve what goes on and what doesn't, and some of the stuff I just don't get it. But alas, the 34th pick with the Giants.
34th pick. Okay, yeah.
Some good names out there.
I mean, Derek Harmon is somebody who I really like, so that's why when you passed on him, because we do need.
I like Harmon too. Yeah,
and I think free agency, from what I've heard, we're going to go after guard. We're going to go after cornerback for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, although there's some good corners, I do want to see who is available because there's probably some good names up here. I really like Trey Omos. I really like Siobhan Revel, and then Darian Porter. I think boosted his stock a lot after the combine because he was just a freak, but he only really has 1 year of good production. Siobhan Revel's coming off an injury. I think he would have probably been a first-round pick without it. I feel like he kind of has those who's that great corner that came out of Seattle in the 4th round a few years back? With all the Tariq Woolen. He's kind of got like that Tariq Woolen build. So I don't know. But I kind of want D tackle. Let's see. I just want to look at the board here. Safety, our number 2 safety is also something I would be considering if somebody like Malachi Starks or that guy out of South Carolina, Nick Manwari, fell. But I don't think that's happening. Did TJ Sanders get picked already? I like TJ Sanders too. I just think Derek Harmon is more of like an all-around build. He's he has pass rush. He's a bigger body than TJ Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
So he's better. I mean, you can see right here. Look at the pass rush grade. Look at the run defense grade. I know some people don't love PFF, but I feel like that's the type of guy that we need. And the Giants have been good at drafting defensive tackle in the 2nd round. I mean, Will Hernandez. I'm talking freaking Delvin Tomlinson is who I meant to say. Delvin Tomlinson. Yes. And even day round 3, still day 2, BJ Hill was great, who I do want the Giants. I think the Giants could bring him in and still draft a defensive interior. So I'm going Derek Harmon. And then Jonathan Hankins, another round 2 guy. Day 2 guy. Cowboys. I kind of actually like how the top of the board fell because they kind of need a linebacker. But what do you think, Jeremy? They went wide receiver round 1.
Let's see the running back situation.
Oh, yeah. That's I totally forgot about that.
Let's see if we can get someone.
Quinshon Judkins, dude. Quinshon Judkins put up a sick combine.
Judkins is good.
I like Cam Scattaboo, but I don't know if he's their style back, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I guess what I'd say would be Judkins you could put in as RB1 from the start with Dallas. Scatterbro is elite and awesome. I don't know if you could put, but I think probably Junkins is the move. Um, if they could get Hampton, I think that would be ideal. But
Yeah.
in this case, it doesn't look like so. And Junkins good at Ole Miss, good at Ohio State. So
I wanted to see if they had like his combine, dude. Because I think he actually weighed in at like 220, 6 foot is good, but he also ran really well.
yeah,
And it says he split carries this year with Travion Williams, like less tread
yeah,
on the tires, you know?
yeah,
And he looked great in the college football playoff. Yeah, I think we go Judkins.
yeah. That's fine.
Cool. All right. I don't know if I'm a Cowboys fan, which I'm not. I'm pretty happy with that. You have two offensive weapons that
Yeah,
I
I
think from
mean,
day one contribute.
your offense need to be better too, for sure. So yeah,
All right, Washington is on the clock here. They do have an edge up here.
who did they take with their first pick?
Josh Connolly, they went tackle. So edge is
Right,
still big here. Also, CB2, Benjamin St. Just is a free agent. And then even though they traded for Marshawn Lattimore, he deals with health too. So
right.
I could see throughout this draft maybe them building cornerback, and they'll probably do something in free agency with all the money they have.
I think Ivy is a good option. And let's see who else.
You want to just pull up edge in general?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Edge or corner.
Yeah. I like Josiah Stewart too.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Giants met with him, but I just think it might be early. I think Jared Ivey like matches up with the big board perfectly. Do you think they bring back Dante Fowler Jr.?
If the price is right, maybe. But even if they do, good to get young blood, someone to get on a 4-year deal with Ivy. So you could probably do both. But Washington needs more of a pass rush anyway. So even if you bring back Fowler, probably not bad to have Jared Ivey as well, I would think.
Yeah, I mean 8 sacks in both of the last 2 seasons. 31 hurries this past season, so his pass rush was better,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then even pretty solid in the run too. So I think a true pass rusher like Jared Ivey. I hate just taking the top player off the board, but I think that he is because after that, I feel like it kind of falls. You could go Josiah Stewart, like he has a good motor, but I'm pretty sure he's like a shorter,
Smaller guy.
smaller edge rusher. Jared Ivey, 6'6",
Oh wow.
285.
Jesus.
He is a beast. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think you go Jared Ivey. I feel like he is just a force on the edge. And he's been productive the past 2 years. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that I'm just some guy with a ring light and a Giants neon sign, but I'm feeling like a pretty good GM right now, dude.
Yeah, listen. I mean, you're adding players to teams. Everyone's going to get better.
Yeah.
Eagles. We took Williams. Okay. Let's look at the tight ends. I like Arroyo.
I mean, the number one, yeah, and I think that he's a lock for round 2. So the fact that he's fallen to the end of round 2 is kind of big.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Mason Taylor guy, I just think Elijah Arroyo is like better production.
Mm-hmm.
Like looked great. I watched a lot of Miami, obviously. Drafted Cam Ward, and with the Giants sucking, I turned my attention to a lot of college football, and Elijah Arroyo always looked great. He did really good at the Senior Bowl. He was like one of the Senior Bowl standouts. What are you thinking, Jerem? What do you think? You want to look at any other positions?
Yeah, let's look at tackle.
Okay. Connor Williams, Marcus Mbo. Wyatt Milam too, which
Good.
is weird because he has the first name and the last name of like the first name of one of my ex roommates and the last name of one of my ex roommates. So it's just weird seeing
Wow.
that together. Yeah, dude, it's so
Two
strange.
names not comp. Wow.
Yeah, two not very common names all put together. It's very strange. But Wyatt Milam, especially because he and earlier in like the draft season while college football was still going on, he was like more mocked in the first, second round, and with like the ability to push him into guard. Marcus and Bo, I heard some things about Marcus and Bo that he was just very great footwork.
That's good.
I guess he tried to model his basketball game
What's the size?
after Derrick Rose, 6'5", 300. So can definitely play tackle. Can also be moved into guard because he's athletic.
Yeah, light feet. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's look at linebacker if we can. It's tough because you don't know what's going to happen with Bond, like you said with your yeah, Chris Paul. It's a name I've heard.
Pooh Paul, dude, that's his name. Pooh Paul. That's what they say.
Yes.
I like Pooh. Like that's a sick. I want to call my linebackers Pooh. That's cool.
Let's go. Really I like Carter too.
I like Jack Kaiser too.
Okay. Let's hope that some guys fall then. I'll go with the Royal. Yeah. At the end of the day, we'll take a Royal.
I feel like that's a steal, and that's just like a best player available and should be a stud, you know, week one.
Kind of need a tight end, yeah.
Yeah, what's the deal with Dallas Goedert? How much longer?
Goddard's on his last year. He also can't stay healthy, but so they don't know if they're going to keep him or not. I think you keep him for the final year because playoff time is amazing. But yeah, they need a tight. They need some kind of future behind Goddard. Calcaterra is nice in a pinch. I don't think he's a legit number one, but he's not because he can't block. But yeah, we'll go with the Royal.
All right. And that's what you did last year with Zach Ertz, right? You guys drafted Dallas Goedert.
Yes, similar. Yep, similar
round
kind of
two.
thing.
I mean, that's kind of
traded back, traded our pick, which turned into our original first round pick. After winning the Super Bowl, then turned into Lamar Jackson for the Ravens, and then we took Goddard 20 picks later.
That's so like that's just doing this. Oh yeah, I see the hat, Jeremy. But that's like the cycle, you know. You win the Super Bowl, you draft a tight end in the second round to replace the one that just won the Super Bowl.
It's if it works, it's kind of nice for sure. Yeah. These days, you need offensive tight ends, which is easy enough, but you need guys who can block too, and that's the hard part. Yeah, you need them to develop as blockers, and it's just tough to see. But I like a Royal. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Oh man. Giants here. All right, let's see what we got. I kind of want to see what the safeties look like. Kevin Winston Jr., I know that the Giants met with him at the Combine. Mm-hmm. I like him. He was injured last year, which is why he's lower. I think prior to injury, I feel like he was like a second-round lock.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a little high here for him, especially I mean, if we don't get him now, I think he's gone, you know?
Sure.
I don't know if we get him in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to I think teams are realizing that guys who get hurt in college to still bank on them to be decent in the NFL. And we're seeing that teams who do that get good results. Obviously, it's not perfect for everybody, but yeah, I mean, if teams are just not as discouraged by guys who get hurt and miss a year in college. So could be interesting.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
I don't know why he's so low down here, dude. I think Trey Harris is going to be definitely.
I think he rises as we get closer to the draft.
There's a lot of I really liked Higgins, dude. What was it? Elijah Higgins? Yeah, Jaden Higgins. What am I saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Higgins, dude. I love Jaden Higgins, man. And I think if we're going to get somebody like Jaden Higgins, we have to get him at the top of the second round, which I think is like where he's going to go, especially after a good combine.
There's still a lot of good hands. Who's above Trey Harris? Yeah, Tez.
Tez Johnson is not going to be like, I don't know why.
There's a lot of good hands that are still on the board here. I think, as you said, as we get closer to the draft, things change for the smarter reasons. So I don't see them available. But here we are with this mock draft. So there you go.
Yeah, and I think things are going to move around too. But let's see. Like Jack Beck is somebody too that I feel like the Giants could use in the wide receiver room.
TCU.
It sounds like, and I think he's a Eagles fan, which makes me sick, but I really like him. Senior Bowl MVP, obviously lost his brother, which is tragic in the New Year's Eve accident. Dude, Trey Harris though, I think Darius Slayton's gone. Trey Harris is a field stretcher. It sounds like he's gone. Like he's angry with the Giants. He was Daniel Jones's best friend. Felt like they did him dirty.
Yeah, what do you say?
The Giants have tried to cut him like multiple times.
What do you say recently on Twitter? I think you might have mentioned it, but
I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. He's like one of Saquon's biggest fans. I would be surprised if he tries to go to the Eagles as like a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I mean, I would take if he's not expensive. I'll take Slayton for sure.
Yeah.
We have Dotson though, who we're going to try to use more. So I doubt that we could afford what Slayton wants. But yeah, I mean, I've always thought he was a productive player. Never great. Probably there should be someone playing a little above him, but he produced like we've said. He gave you 700-800 yards, snap of your fingers. So yeah, there's something there, no doubt.
Yeah, I think I'm going Trey Harris. You want to know why too? Malik Neighbors' quarterback in high school.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I hope I'm not messing up. I'm pretty sure it's Trey Harris.
Interesting.
Because didn't he go to Louisiana Tech for the first couple years of his career? I don't know if they do this. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, dude, he's a field stretcher and like more of an X receiver. If we can get him at the top of round 3, I feel like that is a steal. So yeah. Feeling good about this draft. We're getting Trey Harris over here. All right. Now we're going into the Cowboys drafting once again. So far, we got the Matthew Golden, Quinshad Judkins. I think this is maybe where they try to get a guard. I know you like edge too.
They still need to. Yeah, we'd have to see the value, obviously.
And also Chris Paul Jr., because linebacker, they're thin. Kendrick was like a 1-year deal, and he's older too. Overshown's hurt. I think Maris Luafau, their 3rd-round pick from Notre Dame last year, is the only healthy linebacker on the roster. And they got him in the 3rd round last year, so it'd be on point. And they got Overshown, I think, in the 3rd round as well. They like 3rd-round linebackers.
Yeah.
It was either the 2nd or the 3rd. What do you think? You think Poo-Paul?
I think that would be a good pick. It sounds like a Dallas pick too, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Ole Miss players in a row for us. No Jackson Dart. Thank gosh. I do not want Jackson Dart.
Well, we'll see.
You think the Giants might be in on him?
Maybe they go. No, I don't know. Yeah, he compared himself a few days ago to Jalen Hurts, and I'm thinking about him like, if you're that kind of size with that quarterback, I would compare myself to Hurts too. You're not as good, but obviously, there's a lot to work on with his game. But he kind of slung the ball to Ole Miss. He
can't sling the ball. It's just a different. It's like a college. It's a college offense. Like there's so many designed open players, and players like Trey Harris made it easy for him to be good. But yeah, I know there's a lot of Giants fans that are like huge on Jackson Dart.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Later, where not later.
No, not at 3. I think they top around 2. A lot of people, especially people who are against trading draft capital to move up to 1 for Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And I think, which I could see, because like even part of me, as much as I love Cam Ward and I think he's the guy, and honestly, I would if we could. When the Bears traded up for Mitch Trubisky, I think it was like 2/3 and a 5th, something like that.
Yeah,
a 4th thrown in there too for like 1 pick. If we could do 2/3 and a 5th, like maybe next year's second. I'm cool with that. But I
Yep.
don't want to trade the second of this year. That's for sure, because that's essentially a first round pick, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we're talking Cowboys here. And you guys have Matthew Golden, Quinshot Judkins, and now you got a linebacker, which is a need, and Paul. Here, let's pull up Paul's. Look at that. Look at that. Overall grade, 88. Pass rush, good in the pass rush. You move him around. Good run defense, good coverage. I mean, he's just a good all-around linebacker, which is what you need. So you got him. What are you thinking, Jeremy, here?
Washington. What do we have? We have a tackle, an edge.
Yeah.
What else could they use? They have.
The cornerback.
Yeah, they have Marshawn Lattimore, who I don't think is amazing, but they're going to have to play him again. It looks like, and he gives. I think he can give you a little something, even.
Yeah.
With what's going on.
Maybe they get Savion Williams. They have 2 Deebo Samuels types. That'd be a crazy offense.
Yeah. They need who else? Cool.
Well, the cornerback, like we said, with Benjamin St. Juste hitting free agency and Marshawn Lattimore being questionable health-wise, Benjamin Morrison fell here because he had that hip surgery. Like he's dealt with hip stuff, but he was at one point, a first-round player. He was good since his freshman year of college. I mean, this is where you get a discount getting him midway in the third. That's just another top player on the board, but Dorian Strong too. Jacob Parrish is more of a slot. Kobe Bryant's undersized.
Mm-hmm.
He's small, but I feel like he could also play outside. I think a lot of people like Kobe Bryant.
We're now getting to the stage in life where a lot of kids are being named after Kobe.
Yeah, at least they spelled it.
This is a different spelling.
The most unique way I've seen.
Cincinnati Kobe Bryant spelled it. I think he spells it Cobe. But yeah, So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad it's different. Yeah, I could see them going with Morrison.
Yeah, I think Morrison's just the best value here too. This is PFF's board. It's not like the unanimous board, but I've seen a lot of other draft analysis have Benjamin Morrison as a steal. So
yeah,
in the middle of the third, I think that's somebody that you hit on, and I think they're going to still address cornerback and free agency. They're not going to go into the draft.
Yeah, sure. Like we said, it's good to bring in guys in different ways in free agency as draft picks too. We're able to control their salary, develop them. So yeah, it all works.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be Commanders fans we have an injured Marshawn Lattimore with an injured Benjamin Morrison, but hey, you know what?
Right.
What are the chances of them being injured at the same time?
Yeah.
Maybe high, but you drafted.
But that's the point of drafting. You have them for the next 4 years. You can plan around that.
Yeah. All right. I believe this is the final pick. Yeah. Eagles.
96.
96.
We took an end and a tight end.
And now you got a pretty good versatile tackle guard right here in Anthony Belton.
Yeah.
But what else are you looking for? Are you a Harold Fannin Jr. fan or no?
I like it, but we already took Arroyo.
That's true. That is 100% true. I feel like he's more of a gadget, fullback, move him around.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a lot of fun.
No, I do like him. That's why it's tough with the tight ends because it seems like there's depth there too. Part of me really loves the idea of Tez Johnson. The issue is we sort of don't do – we're kind of set at receiver.
Especially really small, skinny, undersized receivers.
John
Devontae Smith, yeah.
Yep, Covey, yeah.
Yeah.
Paris Campbell's a free agent, but he gave us some beef. Yeah, I like Ransom, and I think it comes down to Ransom and Belton. Um, this is
Yeah.
obviously would be a Jeff Stalin decision, but I can get on board with Belton for sure,
Yeah.
especially if he is able to give you an option of being a um, guard to start
Guard.
off, and he has
Oh, and he's
nice,
huge too.
he's
Yeah,
got a
six.
nice size, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like this is where you take like you know, somebody like a swing at tackle. Like you should
No
always be
doubt.
building
And
your
and you have
depth.
a
Like
great
I don't think
you
he's
have a
gonna
great
be.
you have a
Yeah.
great coach to develop him too. So yeah, I like that idea a lot for sure. Some good names still, but
Yeah, Andrew Makuba too. I know that a lot of
mhm.
people love him at safety. Hmm,
He was the one
just
who
look.
had the game-winning pick against Arizona State, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jonas Sanker. This is the guy who looks just like Jalen Hurts. I don't know if they have his
Really?
picture. Yeah, it was viral from the draft. He looks like exactly like Jalen Hurts, like hair,
I
facial
gotta see
hair.
this.
Yeah, look him up, dude.
Okay.
Because that'd be pretty sick, huh? Doppelgangers.
Yeah, I mean that would be something for sure.
I don't know what it really gives you advantage wise.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
You see it?
Similar, yeah, similar for sure.
He's like, I don't know how they see it. I'm like, dude, you have the same exact goatee and the same
Yeah,
exact
thick
haircut. Yeah,
eyebrows, same, yeah,
yeah.
similar, yeah. Maybe we could save him for. Maybe he could drop another round.
I think he probably will. I mean, yeah. I don't even think he's
Uh,
the top safety really
that
available.
guard from Georgia, I forget his name. Obviously, he's not there anymore.
Let's see,
Um,
maybe IOL. Where's the IOL? Here we go. Jared center. Willie
yeah.
Lampkin, dude. That guy is like what 5'10", 5'11", 290.
How
But
is
he
that
was
going to
taking
work?
on dude, he was like blocking like 6'7" Deion Walker at this. That was like the big thing of like the Senior Bowl.
Jeez,
But
that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You want to look at any other positions, or you think you're ready to
No, I
make
think
your
I'm ready. I think it comes down to Ransom or Belton.
yeah,
Uh, we'll go tackle. We'll go Anthony Belton here.
yeah, big boy.
Yep.
You guys love your big boys, and you just
It's
love them in
like
Philadelphia.
it's tough to see. It's tough. It makes when you have five guys. I mean, I don't consider like Cam's on the smaller end, but a center obviously that works. Becton's size was like, yeah, it was kind of nice. So it was awesome having him, Landon, Lane, and obviously my Lotta. Yeah, that's just crazy. And to continue that would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Where did
that's
James Pierce go in this draft?
because you were thinking about taking him for the Cowboys, which honestly,
Right.
me
I also
too.
love 23. Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles like, oh, he would be so perfect for the Eagles for an edge. But yeah, obviously, Jalen Walker 30. Wow.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'll accept
Jalen Walker.
Darius
Yeah,
Alexander.
he's like and Jalen Walker. We could have considered him for the Commanders too, because he's like a linebacker edge, like a hybrid, kind of like a Frankie Louvu. Having
Yep.
two Frankie Louvus on the defense, I mean, Dan Quinn did good with one. I don't know if you need that in his defense, but it's an option.
Pierce,
Yeah,
Walker, Nolan, and Darius Alexander are all guys I would love, and they're all going the same spot, just like 5 picks ahead. So, oh my
yeah,
god, so it's so annoying, but we'll see.
yeah. And even like, I mean, I don't know. I think Nick Emmanuel is going to be a steal in this draft.
Hmm.
It's weird because like he had decent production, and then the combine is just like he's like the most athletic player ever. Like
Yeah,
ever, I think RAS score out of the combine.
Yeah, teams are going to have to determine how they value in-game play compared to combine testing.
Yeah, and then
Easily.
that's the same thing with Shamar Stewart, right? Shamar Stewart, where did he go? 16.
Arizona.
And this, yeah, Donovan Ezeraku too. A lot of
Yep.
people love him.
Will Johnson dropping.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Will Johnson, man, where'd he go? 14. Yeah.
Where'd Mike Green
I don't know,
go?
man. Mike Green. Yeah, because there's a lot of good edge rushers, and I feel like one of them
Seattle, 18.
should have fallen to the Commanders. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I thought that they were the. I mean, I remember all the picks because there was only 3. So going over them, Giants to start off, get their quarterback Cam Ward in the first round. Second round, we get Derek Harmon, a big body to put next to Dexter Lawrence. He can rush the passer, he can stop the run. He's all around great and beefy. And then round 3, we get Trey Harris, Malik Neighbors' ex-quarterback, which I said it like 3 times, so I really hope I'm not wrong because the comments will rip me apart.
This is the one. This is the video.
This is it, dude. This is it. Yes, yeah, it was. Okay, good. I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, which I think is a good draft. And then the Cowboys went Matthew Golden, 1, get a wide receiver 2 out of Texas. Blazing speed, move him around. Second round, you guys got what did we do? Oh, Quinshon Judkins, running back out of Ohio State. There you got your running back 1. Maybe they go running back in free agency 2. Maybe a guy like Nick Chubb, they kick the tires on, just so that way they don't go into the draft.
Who did you just say in free agency?
Maybe somebody like Nick Chubb, who I think would be like a discount. Maybe they bet on him getting better, a year removed from the injury.
That could be a
I don't know if they like. Do you think they're going to go in on like a Najee Harris?
Is Najee Harris an unrestricted free agent?
Yes,
possibly. I wouldn't rule anything out. Dallas is they're the biggest question mark ever. They'll do whatever. So I could see it, or I could see if Nick Chubb is a free agent, then bring him in. Maybe drafting Judkins too. Could be. But they're a team that'll do anything for a big name. So it's always open for them for anything.
Yeah. Maybe they bring back Amari Cooper too. Who knows? Get him on the cheap. Bring him back to Dallas.
Should have never let him go.
Yeah, round 3. Where did we go again? Oh, linebacker freaking Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Out of Ole Miss, because you guys need a linebacker. Washington
we have Chris Paul in this draft. We have Kobe Bryant in this draft.
Dude, it's a great NBA draft. LeBron James. I'm sure there's going to be a LeBron James coming out maybe next year. Completely.
What's a common name? Josh? Do we have a Josh Smith in this draft?
No, not that I see. Josh Simmons, but I don't know.
Hey.
Washington, you guys got a tackle because you guys need more O-line help, and maybe you guys see that in free agency, and this pick becomes less necessary. But also, you could move Brandon Coleman inside and still draft Josh Connerly and get a tackle in free agency. Round 2, we did. What did we do for these guys? Where did we go? I know round 3 we did Benjamin Morrison. Give them cornerback help. We got the edge. We got the edge. Jared Ivey at Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of Ole Miss players in this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Eli Manning. Shout out Evan Ingram. Shout out Jackson Dart. Hopefully we don't get him. And then your Eagles, Jeremy. Your Eagles went Tyleik Williams.
Yep.
Elijah Arroyo and tight end out of Miami. And what in that last one?
We won tackle from.
Oh yeah, Anthony Bellin.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good draft. But
Yeah,
we got a free agency preview. So if you liked it or if you hated it and you want to laugh at us and how stupid we are, like and subscribe, comment, tell us where we're wrong, tell us where we're right. Jeremy, anything you want to say about this draft?
I'll say two things. First thing I will say, uh, I've sort of been on my high horse with the Super Bowl, so I haven't had as much time with these prospects. So uh, I could be wrong. I'm sorry. And the second thing I'd say too, I wish some guys in the first round, like I mentioned earlier, Sean, guys like Walter Nolan, Darius Alexander, Jalen Walker, um, and a few other guys on the defensive line fell to 32. Not all of them, obviously, but at least one of them. That would have been
Yeah,
nice. That's sort of what I was shooting for. I still like Tyreek Williams, James Pierce too, especially that he was at 23. But that was unfortunate. That's my one comment.
yeah. And I think when the actual draft comes, the chances of one of those guys
Yep,
falling to you is a lot higher. Yeah.
probably.
Especially like Donovan Azaraku. I feel like recently you've seen him a lot in the first round.
Yeah.
I
It's all
feel
about
like he
it's
was
all
more of a
about
second.
the quarterbacks too. The best thing about drafts for teams that don't need quarterbacks is when quarterbacks go on a run in the first round. So it's hard to see now, but things obviously change, and the quarterback, believe it or not, is the most important position on the field, and teams go crazy for them at these during when they're drafting, when the draft's going on. So we'll see there.
You know what? I didn't even realize. Like, I don't even see Shador Sanders in the first round. I don't think he
There you
was
go.
I don't even know where he went, to be honest.
Yeah, that I didn't notice either.
Uh,
Wouldn't
sorry,
that be
guys.
funny if you guys took Cam Ward in the first, and then your second round pick was Shador?
Shador Sanders is just sitting there. I don't know, man. Uh, I think there's great things about Shador Sanders, and even there was a point where I was
I
like,
agree.
if Cam Ward's gone and we take him at 3, I think I will convince myself to fall in love with him. Just like I
Oh, you
convinced
would.
myself to like, yeah, oh yeah, this like the start of next season, I'll be like Shador is going to be slinging it. Like
If
he's
you
yeah,
took Jackson Dart at 3, it might take you a little longer time. You would convince
I would.
yourself he's the next Tom Brady. I promise you. I know Sean. My goodness, he'd be the next Peyton Manning within a week.
Yeah, I don't know. Daniel Jones, man. The Daniel Jones dude, like that night, being at that draft on my
Yes.
birthday here in Nashville, Daniel Jones, dude, I just remember like lying on the floor, drunk and just in shambles, man, just in shambles like that. And it
Yes.
set us back. It set us back years, you know?
Yeah,
Or
but you
never
a week or two in, you were like, "Oh no, this Daniel Jones, he's
the
big
whole
body
media
slinger
turned
on the
around,
tube."
dude. He was Danny Dimes. He has
Yes.
a great win against the Bucks. Matthew Gay misses the game-winning field goal,
Yep.
and yeah, Daniel Jones. That was it. That's when he took over for Eli, and thankfully now we can move on from that, and we're going to. It just is it going to be Cam Ward or is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Please no. Please no.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's an episode, Jeremy.
All right.
So, yeah, I guess we'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe.